Hello everyone, it's Mxiety, and today we are talking about the thing that I think everybody's talking about, and that is the coronavirus. A lot of people are freaking out, and listen, I am not going to be one of those people that tells you not to freak out about it. I understand how anxiety conditions work. I have one, my husband has one. It's not easy to not just get up and collect all your germophobic thoughts, put them into one little ball, and then wash your hands vigorously until they look like this. Seriously. I get it. My point here being, there are definitely things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis to mitigate exactly how much I freak out. And that's what we're going to talk about. So let's go. So the first point I want to make is look for facts. And I don't mean going and Googling your symptoms and seeing if it's the coronavirus. No. If you had one cough earlier because your throat is dry and it's time for you to drink some tea, then it's probably not coronavirus and it's time to tell yourself to chill out. But how do you do that? How? In order to not panic, the first thing that I need is information that is not biased as much as possible. Now, what does biased means? Well, we are in the middle of an election in the US, which means everything's highly politicized. I see things from the right and the left. My fellow Americans, I want to take those sources and put them to the sides, okay? Then we have sources that are funded in a public way. So that is from your donations or are not attached to any major news organization that is attached to any media. So Reuters are a really good source. NPR is a fantastic source, and the Associated Press. It is literally their job to deliver you the least biased version of the headlines. What happens when you want to get the medical facts? Well, the WebMD website, full disclosure, I work for a WebMD subsidiary, but the WebMD website is a really great resource to go to. Just Googling your symptoms is probably not the best idea. Be sure to check out the CDC website if you live in the US. So once you've gotten your good sources, continuously subscribe to them and go back to them. And if you really want to make sure that they keep delivering you the news that you need, be sure to support them. Drop a penny in their bucket, maybe even $1. $1 subscription to NPR could go a really long way for them and might not be that noticeable to you, but is a really great way to say, thank you. I feel a lot better knowing that and not just going off of some whatever resource. Another great way to get good information and to see what things have been debunked is Snopes. Snopes is a website that I consistently go to whenever I am in an argument with somebody saying things like, hey, do toilet seats actually transmit illnesses? Wait, but do they? Wait, somebody said they don't, but somebody said they do. Snopes will tell you. Once you're done with all of that, you go to step 2, and that's wash your damn hands. I know this has been said everywhere, and I know that it is actually bad advice for somebody who has really bad dry skin in the winter and cannot put enough lotion on. Keep in mind, if you overwash your hands, you're actually making things worse by opening up tiny little sores through which bacteria is a lot easier for them. There's no barrier, so it's a lot easier for bacteria to get through. So try to make sure you moisturize, especially since it's the winter, after you wash your hands. Also, wash your butt. Okay, apparently there's a huge issue with a shortage with toilet paper because people are panicking and buying toilet paper. Wash your butt. If you need to, wash your butt. And we just recently got research that the coronavirus can be passed through fecal matter. So again, a great reason to wash your butt. The paper's not going to do a lot if you're trying to get rid of a virus. So that's a really interesting point. And then clean surfaces. A lot of people don't know that your cell phone is actually one of the nastiest things that you can have in your hands. So be sure to clean that maybe at the end of the day, especially if you're somebody who works in a crowded city. Your steering wheel in your car, nasty. Lemons at the bar, nasty. Ice in restaurants that you go to, nasty. So just consider, instead of being paranoid about everything, Consider the surfaces that you're using and logically tell yourself, hey, how often do I use this thing? How often do I clean this thing? Your facial brushes should be cleaned once a week, but something like a pen or something like that can be cleaned once a day. And it's really not that, not that hard or hurtful. And it'll also spare your hands some hand washing, right? If you're holding the pen and you're like, oh my God, is it full of germs? Well, you wiped it, so you know it isn't. So those are things that I do. To number 3, I'm going to bring in once again Dr. Kelly Dunlap, who did a fantastic job in our previous video, and she's going to talk about the fact of how to quell your panic. So I just talked about here's what to do if you feel like you're starting to get nervous and you're one of those anxious people. She's going to tell you exactly what steps that you can take to feel a little bit calmer in this very stressful time. Over to you, Dr. Dunlap.
My name is Dr. Kelly Dunlap. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm here to talk about keeping calm during the coronavirus outbreak. It's important to try and stay as calm as possible, even when the world seems like it's anything but. Part of that is to use a technique called STOP. So S-T-O-P. S stands for, well, stop. Stop what you're doing. T is for take a breath. So you stop what you're doing, take a nice deep breath, preferably in through your nose, out through your mouth, to give yourself a little bit of space to kind of get an idea of what's going on. O stands for observe. Observe meaning what is happening? Are you mindlessly scrolling through your Facebook feed, reading terrible headline after terrible headline? Or are you maybe stuck in your thoughts, like just running on the same treadmill of negative thoughts over and over and over again? If so, there's no wonder that you're feeling anxious, because what we think and what we read impacts how we feel. And so that takes us to P, which is plan. And that is planning for how you're going to get out of the situation you're in. Are you going to maybe limit the amount of social media that you're intaking? Are you going to maybe filter out some of the coronavirus news? Because that's a really good strategy if that seems to be what's, making you feel super anxious. The same thing with your thoughts. What are some things you can do to kind of take your mind off of the constant worry, the constant anxiety? So, one tip is distraction. Distraction is a super legitimate strategy for dealing with anxious thoughts in the moment. So whether that's playing with your dog, going to play a game, listening to music, watching a funny show, cooking a delicious meal, things that you can put your attention into that at least, give yourself a timeout, a little bit of a break from all the worry. Managing your anxiety can be really important to your physical health as well. The same way that eating well and getting enough sleep and staying hydrated is good for your mental health, keeping yourself in a non-elevated state, not at red alert. Yellow alert maybe, but definitely not at red alert, can help your physical health as well. Because when we go into panic mode, our immune system actually gets depressed. The same thing as when we're overstressed for long periods of time, it actually lowers our immune system's ability to respond. So by keeping your physical health up and your mental health as well as you can be the best prepared as possible for what's going on out in the world.
So that's it for me. That is it for this episode. Again, if you feel like panicking, just know that you're totally justified in panicking. The headlines have been really out there, and some people are saying it's nothing to freak out about, and some people are saying, hey, you should freak out. And people with anxiety are like, listen, I'm freaking out regardless of whether you say I should be freaking out. So all of that being said, I hope that this helps. Leave some comments below and let me know if there are other techniques that you're using to help soothe yourself in this really difficult time. And in general, I hope this helps. And don't forget to be the light. Bye, everyone. Till next time. Oh, yeah, subscribe and like and the stuff and the thing. Yeah, okay, you know what to do.